moms and kids. This is going to be a fun project for you guys. Happy Mother's Day. We're going to work on making a flower with our handprints and footprints. And this is one of my favorite crafts to do with a kindergartner. So I am missing out this year, but you get to have this special time with your kids. So I'm going to practice with my daughter, Emily, and she went to kindergarten at CVG too. But we didn't have awesome Mrs. Prothero getting this there yet to get this project going. So I'm going to do this with her so I can show you how easy and fun it is, and just enjoy this bonding time with your kids. That's one thing that I love about it, is getting to do their handprints and footprints. We get a good chance to visit and just get to know each other a little bit more. So enjoy. So what you're going to need is maybe a couple of towels that you don't mind getting paint on. This paint will come out. It's the kids paint that we use at the school for projects. You will need your pink papers and your green papers, your paint, and then also either the sponges, or if you have a craft paintbrush that you'd prefer to use, that would be fine too. So it's up to you. And then what I like to do is have paper towels handy, and then maybe if you have some baby wipes, those are great. And I also, for the feet, tend to have a little bucket of water so they can, after I've wiped off most of the paint, stick their feet in there. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you just how simple and fun this is with my daughter, Emily. And the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to use this little sponge craft paintbrush, and I'm going to paint her hand with red paint. So you're really just going to get it good and covered. You want to have enough paint on it that you get a cute little handprint. So get it nice and covered. This is fun because I usually talk to the kids about what it feels like and have them describe what the paint feels like going on their hands. It's often cold, it's squishy, it's tickly, all those fun things. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have them open their hand just a smidge, open your fingers just a little bit, but not too far, just like that. And then you're going to take it and you're going to stamp it on one half of your pink paper. And I just go like this, and I usually tell them not to wiggle their fingers. And then I just kind of press them down and make sure that we get all of the fingers pressed down. And go ahead and lift. There we go. And so I'm going to show you what that looks like. I probably could have used just a little bit more paint on there, so feel free to be liberal with that. And then what you're going to want to do is get 4 more good handprints of the same hand. So if you use the right hand, use the right hand for all of them, and then do another one on this side. And you'll want to leave just enough room so that you can cut out a petal of that hand. So, and then what I usually do is give a paper towel or a tissue for them to get the rest off, and you can help wipe that off for them. And if you have wipes handy, you can use wipes. Of course, we're usually in a classroom and in one spot, so I make it easy to get most of the paint off before I send them to the sink to wash their hands with soap. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and give Emily these things, and she can take care of that so we can get going on her feet. So for the feet, you're going to do a footprint of each foot, because what's going to happen is you're going to cut them out like a little leaf, and that's going to be placed on the flower, the stem of the flower. So I'm going to show you, we're going to practice just doing one. And so you'll want to have your paper ready to go on the floor, and we'll get the paint going on her little foot. We're doing a little video for kindergarten. Hi. I've had my boys come through.
Oh, nice.
How many miles?
That one just got back from a run.
5.5. I did like 50th plus home course. Except I got over at 30 seconds for the time. Cool.
Okay, so you just get that paint foot all nice and green, and then you're just going to position it right in the middle. I will show you here in just a second. And this one's kind of tricky. You have to try not to wiggle it around so you get a good little footprint. And then you can either wipe it off or stick it in the water of your little foot bucket. So there we go. We have a great footprint of hers, and you'll just want to have a good one of each foot. Alrighty, I'm going to finish up these with her, and maybe you can get started or get your things together and get ready to do that. And then we will talk about how to cut out and assemble. Alright, here we are. So we are going to put together our flower now that the paint is dried. And so what I'm going to have you do is just take those little handprints and cut them like this into a petal shape. So I just round around the fingers, and you can do this as tight as you want to around those little hands and put it in a shape like this. I'm going to look at my directions, and that way I'm following the order that I put together for you guys to do too. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this little sunshine, and we are going to glue the flowers to it. So what you're going to want to do is just take those hands and put the glue on the yellow pieces of the sunshine, and you're going to go all the way around so that you have 5 little petals placed around your flower. And then what you'll do is you will take those little feet and cut them into a leaf shape. So I just kind of had cut as close as I could and put a little point at the top of the foot, and then a little point at the bottom of the foot, like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take those feet with the toes, big toes pointed up, and you're going to tape them together in the middle, just like that. And then, let me see here. I'm going to go ahead and take a moment and glue these things together, and we'll come back to assemble your flower. Okay, here we go. We're going to go ahead and get all that put together. You'll see I have my flower petals all glued on. I used a glue stick. You can choose to use Elmer's glue. It's up to you on what you have and what you prefer to work with. So I glued them right onto there. So the next thing we'll do, and see how there's a little space in the middle for our center of our flower. I'm just going to take, again, some more glue stick, and you have one of these in your prepared packet that has your child's picture on it. So we're going to take that just right in the center of the flower, use a little glue stick, and put it right on in there. The next thing we're going to do is take out your cup of sand. If you haven't already, go ahead and put your green stick right into the center, like that. I've lost a little sand. You may have the same problem. That is okay. So what we're going to do is you can take masking tape. I think we put a few pieces on each of the baggies, so if you can get that off of the baggie, we provided that for you, just to make sure everybody had some. And then what you're going to do is take your flower, put it at the top of the stick, and you might not be able to see it very easily right now. In fact, you know what? I'm taking my bamboo stick out for now so that I can work with it. So I'm just going to lay it right down on the table, and I'm going to put the top of the stick kind of at the center, maybe just a little bit above the center, so it gives some good support at the back of the flower. And use a couple of pieces of masking tape to put right over there. There we go. So it's taped right on. And then I'm going to take those little feet, do the same thing, tape them together from the back. Just like that. Oh, and another thing you could do, would actually be really helpful. What I meant to do is take a little bit of glue stick and actually glue that together in the middle, and that way it looks good. Then we will take those little feet, and I think I would probably, now that I'm looking at it, move them at a little bit higher of an angle. There we go. Yeah, just like that. That way they're not straight up. They look a little bit more like leaves. Yeah, like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and take one more piece of tape, or two, just so you get a good solid connection there. And I'm going to put that right across the back on my stick. So I really hope that you guys have had fun doing this with your kids and that you've had a chance to do that. This is just a really special memory. I have 4 kids. You saw 3 of them in the background of the first video. One of my boys, darn it, I was going to have him walk by during this video so that you will have seen all of them. But I have 1 girl and 3 boys, and the 2 youngest boys had Mrs. Prothero. So they got to do these, and we have one for each of them. So here is your flower, and the very last thing you've got to do is to take this sweet little poem that reminds us moms of how short the days are that our kids are small. And you can take that and just tie it. What I like to do when I do these for the Mother's Day gifts is I take it and I tie it just right above one of the wider rings on the bamboo stick, so that way it stays above that. So you could do one of 2 things. You could either tie it on like that, or if you would prefer, you could even take the string off and put it right on the back of the flower there. It's really up to you. So there you have it. Here's our Mother's Day craft, and definitely a memory to treasure of their cute little hands and feet. So it's been fun to do this with you. And one more tip that I have, if you would like to extend the life of this project, you could take these pieces in once you put your flower together, and once you've got your little feet arranged where you wanted, you could head to Office Depot or Office Max, whichever it is right now, and have them laminate it for you. That would give it more life, and then you could tape it on after you've trimmed around the edges. All right, thanks so much, and hope you guys have had a beautiful weekend, and we are looking so forward to seeing our kids next year at school.